Hello, everyone, and welcome in. I'm Carmela Sterling, and today's Thursdays Under the Spotlight. I'm very excited about this one specifically, and you'll find out why in just a little while. But let me welcome you in and tell us where you're watching from. We always love to see where you're watching from, what your day may be like. We do welcome questions and comments along the way. And I've had a lot of people reach out and say, hey, how do I stay in touch with your guest, or how do I know what's coming up? So carmelasterling.com, go there and just sign up, and we'll make sure what you're signing up for is to the VIP list to know who's next and who's coming. I'm so excited today about this because this dynamic, very beautiful, multi-talented woman has. I have a list. Can I share this list with you? Listen to this. She's a black belt in karate, a hockey player, an artist, an editor, a model, an actress, a film actor, and she can sing and dance. I've known her all her life. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to my daughter, Theresa Alvarado. Yay! Oh my gosh,
Hi.
welcome. Hi, sweetheart. Good morning.
What an intro. My goodness. I'm blushing already.
Oh, I admire you so much. And it was
Oh,
very difficult to think about you other than my amazing, wonderful daughter that I love. And then I started writing this list. And I'm thinking, wow, she's engaging and talented. And you've taken all your creative skills and have put them to work in so many different mediums. Oh my gosh, people need to hear what you've done and to follow you. You're on all the social media platforms. So here we go to talk about how you've literally taken your gift of creativity, Theresa. I'm so proud of you and so excited.
I'm just so blessed and flattered to be here that you chose me to interview. And um yeah, it's such an exciting time of my life, being 29, the last year in my 20s. I'm really just focusing in on that creativity. How many different things can I do this year? How many different things can I explore? And I've been really, really blessed to have the ability and the time to do so. And I kind of committed to that in college, to say, like, I want to live the creative life. And it's been such a journey with a lot of highs and a lot of lows,
Yeah,
but
right. But
we've
you
seen them
you
all.
persevered, you persevered, but you were young. You weren't even five yet. And I remember this so vividly. You were standing on a little step stool and looking in the mirror, pretending to put on makeup or whatever you were doing, and you said do you remember this?
Yes.
And what did
I
you
mean,
say?
I don't remember it first person, but I remember it from you, and it
And
really impacts me.
she said to me, I'm a crater. And I said, I'm sorry, honey, what did you say? And she goes, I'm a crater. And I said, you're a crater. And she goes, yeah, and the paint and the drawing. And I'm like, oh, you're creative at a very young age. Now she's funneled that from, it's very interesting to me that I made this long list of all the things you've done that I actually have it in front of me, which I rarely do, but it's pretty incredible. From theater to improv, still photography to action films, you're magnetic on camera and it seems very natural. All of that said, how do you get there? How does someone get to where you are feeling very much yourself? You're on the red carpet in front of the camera, you're doing action films, you're doing still photography, commercial work. How did you get comfortable with all that?
Yeah, I mean, you take a class from Carmela, that's for sure. But no, I got really blessed in that sense to grow up in the studio with you, and just experience after experience after experience being on camera. And it's a funky thing. It's so different than, like, I'm going to go out on stage and do this thing and leave it all out there. Film is so different, let alone, like, we're live right now on a camera, and it's a very strange medium. And then you have film where you're doing things over and over, like the same thing over and over again, so you kind of have to recreate that. But it's just a comfortability, I think. It's something that definitely can be taught, but also has to be a desire within you to, like, get on camera and just be completely calm and relaxed. And, like, I even got nervous before this, but now that I'm here, I can say I'm here, and any sort of adjustments to my makeup or hair, let all of that go. I'm here with you, and I'm happy to be here. And that kind of being on camera makes me feel alive. And so I have, like, that drive and desire to just, like, it's my second home for sure.
Isn't it though? So
Yeah.
so being a creative young person and through it all, you've had some great experiences. You studied art in Orvieto, Italy, for a number of months. And through that, were you drawn to a certain medium there as well? Because the picture we're showing right now is the engagement one that you did. And is that charcoal or something like that?
Yeah, that was a really cool experience for me because I've always had this desire to be an actress. I've always loved the camera, whether that was modeling or acting or both, and I just knew that's where I wanted to be. And I chose to go to Italy because I was like, let's just shake it all off. I need some time to connect with my heritage. I mean, Carmela, how can you not be Italian? And then I was like, let's go and just be imperfect. I needed a time where I could let go of anything being perfect. And I was like, I don't know if I'm an artist. I really enjoy painting and drawing, and I knew that story of myself as a kid saying I'm a creator. And so when I went, I just told myself it's a time to be imperfect. And what I realized was I can draw. I can draw and I can paint. And it really kind of released this passion in me as well. And that picture that you showed of the hands and the engagement is of my brother-in-law and soon-to-be sister-in-law, who I love so much. And that was with charcoal. So that was like the first medium I used in Italy. And it felt like this kind of unlocking moment of being an artist,
Mhm.
and having this thing that's very personal to me, as opposed to like being on the camera is usually for something, whereas art feels very much for me. So charcoal is the thing I was drawn towards, and that particular drawing is charcoal and a couple other kind of textures like that. And that's the medium I work with the most.
And you've been commissioned for your art. That was, I don't know if that was a commission piece, but you've actually been commissioned for your art. I actually have some of your art behind me. My Mother's Day present, one of them, which I just love.
Yeah.
So you've been commissioned. Someone's asking about what else is behind me that has you on it. I'll bring this forward. You were also on the cover of a book.
Yeah.
How fun was this that you got to dress like this?
Yeah, I feel like what I found is it's a little bit of rite of passage to live in Minnesota and be a model on a book cover. A lot of young women who look like me get to do that, because there's a couple publishers in town that hire through our agencies. So that was like, I think, one of the biggest shoots that I did in the beginning of my career, like 5 years ago, which is so crazy to even say 5 years ago. Wow. And then since then, I've done a ton of commercial modeling / acting, whether that was still photography like that one, or kind of like lifestyle commercial.
Papa just put Papa, our producer just put a picture of you, and I think it's Great Clips. You did a shoot for
Yeah.
them, so that's more. Wow, so commercial work as well. My gosh.
Yeah, that one I think is kind of the most popular one right now. I did that almost 3 years, almost 4 years ago now,
Wow.
and they did a whole buyout of it, so they can use it for however long they want. But it must have been popular because they put it across the United States, and I still get friends messaging me on Instagram like, "Hey, I went into a Great Clips today and I saw your face." But you can see there's been some time that has passed, right? My hair's not as short. Um, but that was a really fun one to do, and I love that kind of stuff. I mean, the big smiley like, hey.
So when you
um,
get those calls to audition now, it's something that I know about. And Teresa has something about her. She and I were talking about this the other day. Like, we're not sure what it is. We're trying to figure that out. This sort of Teresa thing. It's a style that she brings to everything she does. So we're probing because we have a lot of artists who are watching. We have a lot of viewers, a lot of fans, a lot of followers. You love auditioning. Most of us would be biting our nails, just not even, can't even imagine like going on an audition for anything. How in the world did you get comfortable with that? How do you prepare for an audition? Like, do you know everything in advance and you can just put all your stuff in a bag and go? Can you walk us through that a little bit, please?
No, I think the reason why I love auditioning most of the time, I will say that sometimes it's really annoying, but most of the time, because it's a time to be imperfect. And like I said, in Italy, I really picked up this idea of like, I need to let go of perfection. And I really struggle with that on a daily basis. But when you're auditioning, they give you almost no direction, or if they give you direction, they're going to change it on you last minute. So all they want to see is how you know, do something or take something. And luckily in like the commercial market, it's just about your look, and it's about how you smile and the exuberance. And oftentimes auditions are like, bring energy. We want to see you big and smiley. So it's much easier to like go really big and be yourself, and then you pull it back to however they want to give you direction. But oftentimes there's little to no direction, and you're just kind of going in and doing your thing, and then you leave and you never hear anything, or you get the job. So it has taught me, I mean, I've done so many auditions now that it's taught me to just let it go, move on, and not get attached to things. Because if they don't want me, I'm not serving their project. And that's what I want at the end of the day, whether I'm doing film or still commercial, you know, lifestyle or modeling. I want to serve somebody else's vision. And I've always had a passion for that. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's powerful for all of us right now. Your mindset and how giving you are. You said something, you and I've talked about this before, but in the light of Christ, you know, for Christ, you take your skills and use them wherever. That's still true. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the idea of like entering the mission field wherever you go. And I pray, I try to pray every day in this sense of like I just want to live for Christ. Like I want to do what He wants me to do. And if I live in that mindset every day, then like nothing can go wrong. You know what I mean? And if I truly believe that He is guiding me one step at a time, then anything that's put in front of me that will glorify God in some way, then I know
Wow.
that it's from Him. And it's a constant idea of discernment, especially, I mean, especially in the acting world. I mean, like, that's why David and I do our own thing, is because there's so much nastiness out there, you know, and I've chosen
Right?
to not take part in that. And so the best way around that is just doing your own thing, and letting God guide your creativity.
So to this point, you do your own thing. You work together with your husband, David, and we have a photo of the two of you that's going up right now. That is you won an award for a fight scene. So
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
us about
David
that, please.
choreographed a fight scene for one of our friends who is doing it's a short film fest called Z Fest in Minneapolis, and we're actually going to be entering it this year with our own thing. So definitely look out for that. We probably won't be able to release it on YouTube until the summertime, probably, but it's a really cool festival. And he did this fight scene for our friends in a film called Ninja Cop, and it's really hilarious. We love it so much. And then he won an award, and you know, I assist him when he does fight stuff, and we both got to be a part of it in terms of acting. So that was really cool to win an award, like the first time we do something together. That just tells me we're living in God's light and trying to follow His footsteps in the right timing. Because
Mm,
I've
I
had
love
to be
that.
very, very patient with my career.
Mhm. In your career, you've done still photography, like the picture we saw, the hair. You've done fight scenes, which we're just talking about, art, commissioned art. You do something, so you create, you and David come up with these ideas, you design it, you produce it, you direct it, you star in it, but you edit. Now, we need to understand something here. How do you have the patience to edit this? All this work that you guys do, how do you keep those creative juices flowing? And how did you realize that you could do this piece that most people in this industry, in your industry, do one or the other, maybe one or two, but all
Yeah.
of these pieces, it's mind blowing, Teresa.
We're super blessed to have assets that help us do our own thing. You know, David is the writer, and I love brainstorming with him, but he does the writing, and then I do all the post stuff. So it's great that he can guide us in the beginning, and then I kind of guide us at the end. And the first time I edited was, I think, junior year of college or sophomore year. So I had never really done anything like that before, but editing is so incredibly intuitive and creative. And I think a lot of people think of kind of anything technological as kind of more masculine, but it actually is very like feminine. And you see a lot of high level female editors in these major films. And I just think that's so cool because there's this like innate thing as a woman that you have like an idea of what comes next or what doesn't feel right or this balance is wrong. So I use a lot of that in my editing. And all the fight stuff that we do, all those, I mean, it takes so long to do. But for my day job with editing, I edit for social media for a videographer, photographer. Her name's Jenna Jones. And that's so much fun because they're short and fast and it keeps me going as opposed to working on like a short film or a feature, which I did, which is a little more painstaking.
You think it'd be fun? Should we show everybody the Doritos film, or the Doritos piece that you and David dreamed up? Now, this is the first one. You had a second. You have a new one coming out, I believe, this weekend, coming up soon. Yeah, is that right? So this will give you an overview, ladies and gentlemen. It does have sound, so you'll want to listen in, and we'll be quiet during this, and then we'll talk about what's coming next. All right, here we go. Check it out.
You're supposed to share the Doritos. Kick rocks.
Go with your sister. No fighting, kids, now, okay?
Doritos, another level.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I love it so much, Theresa.
Oh, fun. I'm so glad you showed that. That's such I mean, that really like solidified me and David working together to start, which is, I can't wait for you to interview both of us together because it's been a journey working with your spouse. I'm sure some of you out there do that, including my mom. So it can be a struggle sometimes, but after we did that, which was actually we submitted it to a competition for it was for Doritos, and they were offering whoever wins this competition would get to show their little like commercial thing in the Super Bowl commercials. So we didn't actually win it, but we had so much fun making it. And we were like, oh, people really like this. And if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see it has like 3.5 million views or something like that. And we were like, oh, I guess people enjoy us doing stuff like that. So we've kind of been on a journey since then, and are still finding our voice in a lot of ways. And then we did a second one, and now we have the final installment of our trilogy. And that's been really fun and difficult at the same time. So
we would really the audience would love to hear that, how you guys work together at another time. But your producer just took some creative license and gave his own company some credit during that for Sterling Karate. Oh my gosh, so terrible. Oh, I can't trust it. But you've taken your love of and all the fitness. So I think about this. Maybe there's a mom watching. She has young kids. She puts them in karate, martial arts, dance, an instrument, art, and how that comes to fruition. That's how I look at you in this almost like a globe effect of here she has taken all these fun things that she really enjoyed and now using them for good, right? All good things. Like, for example, your friend, you work together with Jenna. She sends you videos to edit for celebrities or other websites or I mean, you're really coming into your own style as an editor, right? So you're now taking that skill, which, like, how did even that come out? And you said something that made me realize you just took the step. in the
Yeah.
Doritos piece. You took the step and you edited, and that's how it turned out, and it's fabulous.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same as, feeling comfortable in front of the camera. You just have to do it over and over and over and over again, and then you start to find your comfortability. And it's been really cool to see myself grow in a lot of ways, and I have so much more growth to do and more finding my voice in the things that I do. And I think editing, I'm feeling very close to having a real voice there when it comes to the things that I enjoy and the style that I have. Um, Dressing myself, I've always had a style with that, but there's a lot more growth to do in other parts of my creative life.
What you're wearing today, speaking of
Yeah,
how to dress,
one of the
Lisa,
brands
Teresa,
that I
what is that?
This is one of the brands that I do the social media editing for. It's called Eolas. It's spelled Eolas. And the designer does a lot of handmade pieces or has them made in Italy. And they're recycled fashion. So it's really sustainable. Like, it's just amazing quality. I love what this designer does. And Jenna, who I work with, she shoots all of his stuff. And he just has such a fun style, so colorful. I just feel like it's totally me. So I'm so grateful that I was gifted this Christmas from
Oh,
her.
it's gorgeous, gorgeous. You have a sense, and I'd love to hear if our viewers are feeling this too, of where you fit and how you feel and belong. You move very kinetically through things. You don't seem to work with anything that's a fight or a wrestle. Not that
Mm,
there aren't wrestles with creative thinking, but you do seem
yeah.
to move very comfortably through even your growth. You're to be commended for that. I think that's really kind of amazing. Really
Yeah.
amazing.
I appreciate that, and that takes a lot of practice that I'm currently practicing, because it's not easy, and I call that like listening to the Holy Spirit and listening to Christ, because I'm not like listening to myself. I try to follow Him, and when I'm hitting a wall, I know it's not where I'm supposed to be. And in terms of my own acting career, like I really have this desire to be an actress, but I haven't had many opportunities. And I have to continue to tell myself, like, God is doing something there. I'm not ready, or he's waiting for the right opportunity. Like, I try my best to live in his light and follow his guidance. And that's not easy when nothing's happening, because this industry is a lot of all these things, literally nothing at all. All these things, literally nothing at all. So you have to find your value in him and not in those things. I'm saying this and I'm trying to listen to myself because it's not easy to do.
Right, advice to yourself, but
Yeah.
that you have all the compilation of from commission art and still photography and commercial work and
Yeah.
starring, writing, all of that, and then you do website content. I have a question. Do you promote other products? Can people, what's the word I'm looking, sponsor? Do you accept
Yeah.
sponsors for your work? Can you tell us about that, please?
For sure. So on my Instagram, if you have a specifically like a product, I love to, I'm wearing a product right now. This lipstick was a product I was sent. So I love doing that, but especially the work that David and I do on our YouTube channel. As you can see, we did a Doritos video, it's about a product. So we like the idea of taking a product and making a story or an action story or a dramatized story out of this product. And then you can also sponsor us with either money or a product or something like that. And we'll either make a video or place it in a video or something like that. So our email is on our YouTube page, or you can message me directly on Instagram.
I love that. So Theresa Alvarado, or Theresa and David, and I know our producer's been putting up websites and links right now, so you can reach out and connect. This has been eye-opening as a businesswoman, as someone who loves the arts. You really bring a lot to the table, and you pour yourself into everything you do. And the growth that I've seen in you as your mother and friend is really extraordinary. And what the viewers may be feeling is something that we've not been able to put a word on, and that is Theresa's really her love of the arts, her capabilities, and all the gifts that God gave her are extraordinary. I love the painting. I love that she's on the cover of that book, not just as her mother, but as someone who really appreciates the arts. You're very beautiful to look at. And just to say this, you and David are like a magnet. I have watched the last video that everybody has to go to YouTube and just see this. I'm not putting it up. You got to go and see Theresa and David. This last video, oh my gosh, your face and your big, beautiful eyes and his reaction. Oh my gosh, I've watched it like, honestly, probably 15 or 20 times at least.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's so great to live in this era where you're in control of your career, kind of no matter what you're doing. But I'm so grateful to have been gifted so many different types of creativity that if I'm not on screen, I can be painting. If I'm not painting, I can be drawing or doing fashion or whatever. I'm just so grateful to live this creative life. Like it's such a huge blessing. And I know that I wouldn't be in this place if God didn't want to use me for his kingdom. Yeah, it's so fun. I'm so glad you like that video too. Yeah, we love to make people laugh, and we want to just live a life full of joy and light.
You do just that. Thank you for this big treat today of seeing you, and thank you for all that you've shared. Appreciate you being my guest, everyone. Theresa Alvarado, we love you so much.
Love you.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you
Bye.
next time here.
Thanks, everyone.